board. I'll be anxious to hear your answers then.
Yeah, sorry, we've seen the other one.
Oh, and then there was the 28% admin fees. 28%. Here, let me talk to you about that one. 28% administration fees. This is a non-profit
percentage.
You know what a high average is? 5%.
Wow.
5%. And you know that the unions offer, did you know that the unions offer would have allowed them to keep 15% admin fees? The unions offer would have allowed sale to keep 10% higher average. They're insisting on keeping 28% administration fees.
Wow.
But I guess what are they doing with 28% admin fees? They were supposed to give us the details. Right?
Oh, and did we get them?
Well, we showed up at the second session of the mediators meeting.
Yeah.
We hadn't received anything. We were expecting them to sit down with us as civilized human beings do and go through it with us. Do you think they did that? No. The mediator came in all embarrassed and shy and told us, Roxanne and Chris don't want to sit down in the same room with you. And I said to him, why do you think? And he lifted his hands and I said, do you think it's because they know that we're going to bitch slap them with these figures? That we're going to knock down these figures? And he went like this. So, Roxanne, I hope you watch these videos. Chris, I hope you watch these videos. I'm giving you my personal guarantee that you will have to justify the position that you've taken. You will have to justify the financial statements, the bogus financial statements you've been giving us, in a way that you've been refusing to do up until now. And I'm looking forward to it, Roxanne, and I hope you look forward to it too. Don't jump on the tripod.
Do you guys happen to have a piece of tape?
Oh, okay. 35%, $35,000 in profit. Why don't you ask the sale board why they need $35,000 in profit? Why don't you ask the sale board why they're spending $450 a month in telephones? Whoops! Why don't you? Why don't no?
Don't jump.
She doesn't want my questions. I want you to take my questions.
Be careful. Don't
Why don't you
jump.
ask the? She doesn't want to take my questions. Why don't you ask the sale board why they're spending $7,000 a month on a program director that doesn't exist? Why don't you ask the sale board? Why don't you ask the sale board? She doesn't want to take my questions. Eh? You don't want to hear my questions. You don't want to hear my questions. Why don't you ask the sale board? Yeah. Let's give her a hand. That's what you call see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. Why does the sale board not explain why they're spending? Every time I ask her the question, she moves.
Yep.
Every time I ask her the question, she moves. Why don't you ask the sale board? Why don't you ask the sale board why they're spending $7,000 a month on a fictitious program director? Why don't you ask the sale board why they need a $35,000 per year contingency fund for a non-profit? Why don't you ask the sale board why they're spending $450 a month on telephones? Why don't you ask the sale board why they're spending $200 to $250 a month on pizza and entertainment on Wednesdays? Why don't you ask the sale board the real questions? Why don't you ask the sale board why they haven't audited their statements?
Oh, I know why. I know why. I know why.
She's not going to tape you.
I know why the statements haven't been audited. Because they're in that coffee in your drag to AUPE.
Oh,
and then
the
you guys
coffee.
buried them 6 feet under along with all the documents you
That's
shredded.
right.
I can't wait. You know what? I hope you're saving all of this footage.
I have a feeling it's not.
You know what? But I have an idea for that footage.
We will subpoena your footage.
All of it.
We will subpoena your footage. Oh, that's Lorna.
Yeah, that's
Lorna.
Lorna.
Okay, Lorna.
Lorna's such
Lorna,
an educated
the artist.
writer. She went off on holiday for 3
Oh,
weeks.
Lorna the artist. Lorna the lefty, the progressive. Lorna the lover of humanity. Lorna the crypto-fascist. How about that one,
Look
Lorna?
at that, we have everybody else.
Lorna, the leftist of convenience, the kind of person that George Orwell loved to hate. Lorna, the hypocrite. Lorna, who won't answer the questions. Why don't you answer the questions, Lorna? $35,000. Where's it going? Hey, Lorna, 28% admin fees. Why haven't they audited their statements? Why don't you answer those questions?
$450 in phone bills every month.
Misappropriation of funds is hilarious.
Lorna, you are definitely going to be a witness that was subpoenaed. Okay?
And Yolanda, who sits beside you but voted yes for a strike. Yolanda,
Hey, Lorna.
You're standing next to a turnbuckle.
No. She's not standing next to Lorna.
voting we know.
Because Lorna is one of those progressives of convenience. Lorna. Hey, Lorna. Hold on. I just had an idea. Mark. Mark.
Camera one, camera two.
We
Camera one,
probably
camera
have, there's probably
two.
another one.
Hey, guys.
Mr. The fully signed camera guy, you're looking pretty pale. I hope you put on some sunscreen. You have direct exposure, high UV index today. You could melt.
Mark, I just thought of something. That $35,000 contingency fund. Maybe some of that money is going to Lorna for her documentary talents. Maybe that's where the money's going. Lorna, we're going to subpoena your bank records. We're going to subpoena your bank records, Lorna. We're going to see how much money they've been filtering off to you. Hey, Lorna. Is that how you're maybe documentary film cuts have been very slow these days, right? Maybe funding from the Stephen Harper government is a little low these times. Maybe she needs to milk the sale cow a little bit, right? Is that where the money's coming from, Lorna? Are they paying you part of the $35,000? Because we heard that Chris got a new car. Did you get a new car, Lorna? Lorna, answer the question. All right, everybody shut up. Lorna's going to give us an answer to those questions.
Okay, Lorna,
Give us an answer, Lorna.
we've spoken enough. Now you tell me.
You give us some answers.
Why don't you tell us what's wrong with $500 health spending account?
You tell us. Lorna.
Lorna, quit laughing. What's wrong with the $500
Lorna has no
a year
answer.
health spending account?
I think
What's wrong with 1.5 times overtime pay, Lorna? You find overtime pay hilarious? Or maybe
let them eat cake, right, Lorna?
yeah, there you go. Come on, Lorna, have some guts. Tell us what you really
They don't
think.
have guts to answer the questions. I think, and that reflects one of two things. Either they're just ignorant and willfully blind, or maybe Lorna is actually complicit in the alleged fraud that's going on here. You know, maybe Lorna is being paid to shoot a documentary out of the funds that is going to them from AHS. You know what, Lorna? We're going to find out.
Yolanda,
We're going to find out.
hey,
You got
that's
sick
a nice
desperation
phone.
in your
The
lap,
sale
you know.
people-
Yeah, we're going to find out, Lorna. We're going to find out who's been skimming the money.
Look at this. We got a multi-camera.
All right?
Yeah.
We're going to find out who's been skimming the money.
Are you guys planning like to do a
Instead of
bullet
actually
time?
asking for evidence from the sale board, you just want to sit there and film. That's
It's gonna
great.
be like the Matrix.
That's awesome.
Come on, Lorna, give us an answer.
Your bullying banner, your new neighbors just said it was okay to hit people on a picket line.
Yeah, but Lorna's not really a progressive, guys. Come on, let's face it. Lorna cares about convenience.
No, because you know what?
Lorna cares about the fund that's probably going to finance her career as a documentary filmmaker.
You know what Lorna says? Lorna believes that it's appropriate to refer to these employees as animals.
Oh.
I've got the email, Lorna. You said that was a good analogy. That these women are animals that eat the residents. Why are you laughing? I've got the. Actually, that was your brother Ken, and you said, "Good one, Ken." That's a fantastic
Lorna's
analogy.
the one-
Oh, you don't like that, Lorna? You referred to these women as animals. I've got the email. Ken said these women are animals preying on the residents for food. That's disgusting, Lorna.
Lorna's the one.
That's a dehumanizing tactic. That's the mindset of impunity.
Lorna's the one
Hey,
that,
get me in camera, Lorna. You think these employees are animals? You think these employees are animals, Lorna? That's what you said. You say they're preying on the residents for food.
you know what, Lorna? They're not animals.
Why Lorna, why are you dehumanizing these employees? Why do you dehumanize these employees, Lorna? Why, is it because they're not the same race as you? Is that it?
Oh,
Is that what it's about, Lorna?
that's right.
Or is it just because they're not the same class as you? Because they don't deserve a fair wage.
Hey, Lorna, you know what?
Racist and classist.
They're not animals. They're not animals. But you know what? I'm an animal. I'm an animal in the courtroom. I'm an animal in the labor court. And I am going to be an animal. You're going to have to answer the questions that I ask you. Why $35,000? Why 28% admin fees?
Lorna, do a close
Why
up on this one.
unaudited
It's a history
statements for
lesson
7
for you.
years? Why haven't they audited their statements for 7 years?
You're dumb.
Why don't you answer? I'll let you answer the question. Go ahead. Answer the question. You have no answer, eh, Lorna?
You know what? We don't
Lorna
know
has
what
no
you've done.
answer.
We don't know what you've done, Lorna. But what we do know is you're a turncoat and a coward. That's what we do know. Because none of us have tested your intelligence, but what we do know is that you're a turncoat and that you're a coward. Why don't you just come up to the edge of the balcony, Yolanda?
She's got
See?
earplugs
Because you're a
in.
coward.
Mark, she's trying to tell you she doesn't hear
So,
you.
Lorna,
She hears you from your
On a personal level, have you ever read George Orwell? You ever read George Orwell?
Let's
You look like a cultured lady, educated, cultured. Read George Orwell?
Let's give Lorna a history lesson.
Have you read George Orwell?
Have you? You can go to the AUPE site. It will confirm all of this. Human rights, the labor movement. The labor movement.
Yeah.
Hey, come back over here. No, Lorna, don't look away. You coward. You're such a coward. What? Take a look at this. Go to the AUPE website. Go read the timeline. You know, is this not part of your curriculum? No solidarity? You're such a coward. You won't even answer questions.
No, they won't answer questions.
What was unreasonable about the mediator's report? No
You know,
words. No words.
have you
Just a cowardly smile.
Hey, Lorna, did you at least read the mediator's report?
We'll get you a copy.
Just a yes or no, Lorna. Lorna, civility. Let's be civilized for a second. Have you read the mediator's report? Let's just be civilized and have a dialogue for a second. Have a dialogue. Lorna, you're a civilized person, a cultured, a documentary filmmaker, a woman of the world. What? Let's have a civilized dialogue. Let's have a dialogue. Did you read the mediator's report? You're refusing to have a dialogue. Okay, Exhibit A. Exhibit A. Lorna exemplifies exactly the bargaining tactics of sale. You ask questions, you make compromises, and what do? They walk away. They walk away. They walk away and they refuse to answer. But I sit down with Roxanne. Roxanne, why 28% admin fees? Chris, why 28%? Why do you need a 35,000 contingency fund? You're a pedophile! You're a pedophile! Because I asked the right questions, I'm a pedophile. I'm a pedophile. We're pedophiles. We're bullies. We're abusers. I'll tell you who the bullies and abusers are. The passive aggressives in this building. Okay? The faux progressives. Lorna Thomas, savior of humanity. What a joke. Have you ever read George Orwell? George Orwell describes your type very well, Lorna. Very well. You're the kind of, you're like the Mensheviks. You're like the Mensheviks in post-war Germany who massacred thousands of socialists. That's what you're like. You're one of those people who apologizes for exploitation. Why do you apologize for exploitation, Lorna?
You behave like a little puppy.
Why are they spending $450 a month on telephone fees? On who? On your telephone? Whose telephones are they paying for?
Look at it. Look at you, Yolanda.
Who is the program director? Hey, Lorna, maybe you can clear up some misinformation. Who is the program director? Do you know who the program director is?
Look at it.
Lorna refuses to answer. Lorna, how come they need $35,000 of a contingency fund?
Huwag ka nang ano dyan, kung ano naman ang pinakasabi mo.
Something's wrong with that.
Oh, well.
There's something sick, right?
Yeah, no, that's not a normal person. No.
Well, it's hiding something. Maybe Lorna knows where the money is going.
Yeah.
Maybe Lorna knows where the money is going.
Out here.
Maybe Lorna is complicit in where the money is going. I want you to know, Lorna, that we've hired forensic accountants. The forensic accountants, after we subpoena all of the documents, all of the financial documents, our forensic accountants will go over everything with a fine-tooth comb. And those forensic accountants will get to the bottom of where the money is going, Lorna. Do you have anything to hide, Lorna?
Lorna, you don't even live
Does
here.
Chris
You
have
don't
anything to
service.
hide?
What's your interest?
Let's take bets. They say we go to the casino, so we're gamblers, right? Let's take bets. Let's take odds. Who's willing to put, what odds are you willing to put on some of the money going to Chris? Put your hands up. Hey, what are the odds? What are the odds?
You know what? I think I'm going to give that one. Well, I don't know, 50-50.
50-50.
I know.
What are the odds?
The payout's going to be bad on that.
What are the odds? What are the odds that some of that contingency fund is going to pay Lorna's documentary? Oh!
That's a good question.
That's a question I'd love to ask because she hasn't answered it.
Yeah.
I guess she's only going to be answering the question when she's forced to actually testify. Hey, Lorna, I'm preparing my schedule of the case that's going to come up, and I just want to know, for scheduling reasons, is Sale going to call you as a witness, or am I going to have to call you? What do you think?
And ask Lorna what
Maybe
her
Sale,
interest.
maybe Sale won't call you because maybe you know too much. Maybe Sale won't call her because she knows too much. So I will have to have the pleasure of her company. And you know what, Lorna? They're not animals, but I'm an animal. You know how she's the one who talked about the mafia.
Or was it?
It was Lorna who talked about the mafia. I'm Italian, Lorna. I guess that means I'm part of the mafia. Well, wait till you have to be subjected to my cross-examination. I'm the animal. Remember that. You're going to have to answer some very serious questions. Not just you. Chris is going to have to answer some very serious questions. Roxanne is going to have to answer some very serious questions. Our friend Lolita, who apparently works for a bank but doesn't know how to count.
Sige nga, sabihin
You know,
mo din.
Bill,
Ano yung mga
correct
pinagsasabi
me
mo
if I'm
tungkol
wrong,
kay
but
Jason?
hey, how are you?
Napakayabang
Well, correct me
mo,
if I'm wrong, but really the whole
Kung
board of
maglalabas ka ng
Artspace.
baho, siguraduhin mo na
Could be
maglabas ka
called.
ng baho.
The whole board of Artspace is complicit in what's going on.
And hence could be called
Because
legal proceedings.
you know what I learned last night, Mike? I learned that it was the entire board of Artspace that refused to audit the statements. So I guess they are complicit. Why don't they audit their statements? Why don't they allow it to be scrutinized by an independent?
Oh, hold on. Lorna, you know,
Lorna's tired of not answering questions.
Lorna, but this is the best stuff. The stuff about the financial statements not being audited.
Lorna, what's your interest? You don't even live here. Just want to promote your publicity.
Yep. Lots of questions. We're going to get lots of questions and
Come
answers.
back, Lorna. We need you out here.
Huwag ka kiliglala, huwag mong takutin ang sarili mong multo.
Lorna in the London, come out.
Talagang matapang ka.
You seem to have more to tell.
So, we all go to the casino. I'm going to suggest that the casino open up a new table. And at this table, people will be able to place bets on where is the money, the sale money going.
All right.
Right? That's what they're going to do. And we're going to place bets, and we're going to bet that some of the money went to Chris's new cars, and some of the money's been going to Lorna's documentary filmmaking, and people will bet. Of course, we're not making allegations here, right? We're not making allegations here. We're just placing bets on the questions that are being raised by Sale's refusal to actually give us real numbers.
But who's Lorna? I don't understand why she's so involved.
I didn't
This
see
is
her
where
here
Lorna comes
before.
in. You know how the President of the United States has an official biographer or an official documentary filmmaker. You know, Winston Churchill had. Well, Lorna is the official biographer / documentary filmmaker of Roxanne. Roxanne is being immortalized.
So do they get paid?
Well, that's a good question, Julie. That's a good question. That's a good question. You know, I know that. What's your name again? I know she's not getting paid for it.
No.
Are you getting paid for it? No. The only one who's been posting documentaries on this is
She closed the door because she likes what she hears.
We'll see you soon, Lorna.
We'll be here, Lorna. We'll be here whenever you're ready to come back out.
I'll tell you what, Lorna. Have your lawyer call me. He knows my number. Have your lawyer call me, Lorna.
Lorna is only promoting her own interest, nothing to do with sale or sale.
Yeah.
She has her own agenda at the expense of sale and
Lorna's
sale.
agenda.